Yo, 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 what's going on out there, Fight World? This your boy Money back with another one, fam. And this one here is on Earl the True Spence Jr. making this next move after Terence T-Bud Crawford ran from the biggest fight in boxing, played games, and now he is facing David Avanesian December the 10th, while now EJ is moving on, and he's letting us know that the big announcement is coming soon with his next opponent and you know what he's going to do in this fight game. Now, a lot of people speculate that, you know, Errol Spence is facing Keith Thurman. You got people that want to see Errol versus Jerron Bruce Ennis. You got people that bring up Virgil Ortiz in Dallas, you know, and then you got Errol that can move up. He can move up to 154, and then we can't forget about Stanionis as well at 147. We all know Stanionis, he stepped aside twice so Errol can fight. Well, yeah, first time he stepped aside so Errol can fight Dennis Ugas. Then he stepped aside again so Errol can have Undisputed against Terence Crawford. But we all see how that played out. So now with that happening, we have to see what Errol Spence want to do. We have to see what direction he want to go in. And, you know, is he up for the challenge to stay at 147 to try once again with Terence Crawford? Or do we say, fuck it, I go to 154, start my legacy at 154, become a two-division world champion, you know, and let it be what it is. Now, when it comes to Terence Crawford, like I say, Terence Crawford ducked out on the biggest fight in boxing. I guess they wanted an easier fight. They looking at the $10 million. And, you know, we pissed off about the situation. We mad about the situation because, you know, we was this close to the biggest fight in boxing. But, you know, in boxing, man, it's a grimy business. Boxing is a grimy business. And, you know, we got to roll with the punches, as they say. So now that Terence Crawford has skipped out on Errol Spence and he's facing David Avanesian, you know, we'll see what he do after that because he's going to beat the hell out of David Avanesian. I'm telling y'all now, David Avanesian don't stand a chance. He don't stand a chance. Terence Crawford will go over there and stump that man in the ground. We all know it. They all know it. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. Now, when it comes to Errol Spence, you know, he's on the road to fight another tough fight because we all know Errol Spence don't take weak tune-ups. Let's just keep it real. EJ do not take weak tune-ups. The man went out there, had a car crash, came back and fought Danny Garcia, a top 5 welterweight. Danny Garcia, one of the hardest punches in boxing, and we all seen how that turned out. Errol went in there at 70%, and, you know, he beat Danny worse than anybody ever beat Danny at 70%. Took a few shots, but other than that, you know, continue on to look like the Errol Spence that we all know. But now, you know, with everybody's speculation, they all want Errol to fight Jerron Bruce Ennis first. Oh, let's see Errol Spence versus Jerron Bruce Ennis. They all know Bruce is the up-and-coming rising welterweight, showing a superb skill set, being a southpaw but can switch orthodox to southpaw, has power, right? Fast feet, and, you know, he's just the goods. Jerron Bruce Ennis has all the skills in the world, which Errol Spence once said, you know, he can have all the skills in the world, but I know I can fight my ass off. You know what I mean? I know I can fight my ass off. But instead of fight that Errol Spence is willing to take at 147, right, he had to stay at 47 for that fight. Then we all know Keith Thurman is out there, right? One time Keith Thurman, EJ said, you know, take the L out of Lover, it's over. He don't want nothing to do with Keith Thurman. He felt like Keith Thurman fucked him over when he wanted to fight Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman blew his own chance, you know, by talking so much shit, trying to make it as if Errol Spence only fighting his leftovers, making it as if it's because of him that Errol Spence was getting an opportunity for Manny Pacquiao. And, you know, Errol Spence just don't like the dude. You know, he just don't like the dude. The dude just rub him the wrong way, talk all the shit in the world, the corniest shit in the world. And Errol like, look here, man, get this dude out my goddamn face before I slap the shit out of him. You know? So Keith Thurman, he just hate on Errol Spence. And, you know, Errol don't like that shit. So we all know how Errol is, man. When Errol get in his ways, when he say he's not going to do something, he's not going to do it. When he say he's going to do something, he go out there and he make it happen. So, you know, we got one time Keith Thurman out there. Is it still a possibility It's a lot of haters out here. Man, if he fight Keith Thurman, he said he'll never fight him. And then, that's the fight Al Heyman always wanted in the first place. So if he fight Keith Thurman, then we know it was because of PBC why Errol Spence and Terence Crawford ain't fighting. Man, shut y'all ass up. Nobody want to hear that weak ass shit. But, Thurman is a possibility. We'll see if that take place. Then you have Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, the Texas native. We know Errol Spence is based out of Dallas. I think Virgil's out of Dallas or somewhere around there. I'm not too familiar with everything that goes on in Texas. But we know Errol and Virgil had history with one another. Errol spoiled Virgil when he was a kid. But we know Texas will be set on fire. On fire if Errol Spence was to fight Virgil Ortiz. In Texas, people saying it'll sell out the Cowboy Stadium. I don't know about selling out, but it most definitely put about 50 to 60,000 motherfuckers in there, maybe 70. Who knows? They might sell it out, man. Texas big as fuck, and that's a hometown fight. And both fighters are very known in Texas. Knowing Errol Spence being the king of the welterweight division, he's known all over. But Virgil Ortiz, an up-and-coming rising welterweight as well, like Jerron Boots Ennis. So his name is very popular, and he got a hell of a skill set, a fan-friendly, style where he like to come forward and fight. So him and Errol Spence will be, a firefight right there in Dallas Cowboy Stadium, Jerry World. And, it'll do great numbers. But once again, Errol Spence had to stay at the 47-pound division for that one. And then the last one at 47 will be is Emmanuel Stanionis. We know Stanionis was the mandatory to your Dennis Ugas when Ugas was the Super WBA Unified Champion. But, he stepped aside to let Errol and Ugas, get in that ring and bang it out for, a unification bout. And Errol beat the shit out of Ugas, and he was up next. But then he was willing to step aside again for EJ and Bud to fight for Undisputed at the welterweight division, the history fight. But like I say, Terence Crawford and his team took off running. So shouts out to Stanionis for trying to give us that. But, he's in position to face Errol Spence, and he's a tough competitor, very tough competitor. Strong, come forward, fan-friendly style, like to bang it out, was on Errol Spence undercard in Dallas, Texas, where Errol beat Dennis Ugas, beat Butayev, where a lot of people thought that he was going to lose that fight. But he went out there and showed to people that, he was a bad motherfucker and came up with the victory. So he's most definitely a opponent that Errol Spence can be looking to face, whenever Errol Spence step back in that square circle. So, we got to give it up to Stanionis, who's undefeated. He's one of the rising stars that's up and coming as well. So we'll have to sit back and see if that's a thing. While a lot of people, who don't know who he is, they go try to hate on that fight and make it look like that fight ain't the real deal. But that's a tough-ass fight for EJ, if he was to fight Stanionis. So either that or Errol Spence moves up. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence moves up to 154. He dropped the titles, and he said, I'm done with 47. You know what I'm saying? And if he go out there and say he's done with 47, then that means it's no more undisputed fights at 147. The undisputed fight is dead. No Errol Spence, no Terence Crawford. We can forget about that, So at 154, it's a lot of opponents up there that Errol can take on, man. There's a lot of opponents up there that Errol can take on. One can be the man that Jamel Charlo just defeated for, his title. And Brian Castano. We know Errol Spence and Castano has history. You understand what I'm saying? He beat Errol in the amateurs. He talked a lot of shit, said he gave Errol his first 8 count. So I'm sure Errol want to avenge that loss, you know what I'm saying? And then you have other, names up there that he can fight. You got Fundora, you got Erickson Lubin. You got a few names up there that Errol Spence can go up there and make a name at 154 right away. You know what I mean? Right away. So we'll see if Errol Spence want to go up to 154. And if he do that, then we will know who the opponent is very soon. But just know, man, Errol Spence will be stepping back in the ring very soon. He's letting us know that the announcement is coming. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? We all want to see the King back in action. Like I say, I'd rather see him versus Terence Crawford for Undisputed. But we see they trying to hold him back for Undisputed. And I feel like that's some spiteful, hateful shit. Terence Crawford and them already knew they was going to fight that dude. And they just held up and played with the fans, bro. And that's some shit that I can't respect. I can't respect. You know what I mean? But shouts out to EJ. We waiting on you, King. Until then, it's your boy Money. It's the NSBC moving and everybody safe in these streets. Hit them thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You want to donate OG Money on Cash App. TreyHunt52@gmail.com on PayPal. If not, just tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share the videos. And y'all know how your boy get down, man. Big dog status, family.